Hi friends, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing a video on how I altered my binder from 49 Market, the Flower Emporium collection. I love this collection so much, and I went back and forth on whether or not I wanted to do anything with the cover, but then in the end I thought, well, why not make it pretty? So I selected the 6x8 paper that I want to use for the cover, and I am using a 6x8 adhesive sheet to mount this to the album. And it's a little lopsided and a little bit longer, so I had to trim off the excess so that it doesn't show on the album. And I need to figure out how to do that without messing up my scissors. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and peel this off, and then I am going to swipe my fingers along the end just to make sure none of the adhesive is seeping through before I place that down on the album. And then I just want to smooth it out to make sure there are no air bubbles. And then I'm going to grab my ribbon. I like this ribbon, and I'm going to fill in some of that space on the left side there. And I'm going to tie a nice little bow like so, and then trim that down just a little bit. I like having my ribbon long. Alright, and now I am going to show you how fun it is and how easy it is to create a mixed media background without the mess using Rub-Ons. I was going to do stickers at first with chipwood frames, and then in the end I thought I need to use these beautiful Rub-Ons that I bought with this collection. So I'm going to go ahead and I cut out the green first, because at first I thought I was going to do like all green with a touch of blue for the cover, and then I just didn't think that was going to be enough. So I added lots of color, and I'm so excited to share the process with you. So to begin, I just cut the first piece, I cut around the pattern, and then I placed that down on the album using a burn folder. And I was very careful to make sure I rubbed really thoroughly through that Rub-On so that all the details transfer to the cover. And then I'm just going to keep repeating the steps. And the good thing about Rub-Ons is you can layer them, and you can keep layering them until you're happy with the look. So I'm just going to keep cutting out Rub-Ons, the images that I think I'm going to use. I like the little flutters, and I'm going to go ahead and put those up there. And I'm kind of like working from the top corner there and the bottom right corner, and just moving my way to the center of the album. But this is such a fun thing to do. I mean, I had so much fun just putting these Rub-Ons down, because I'm a big fan anyway. And so now I'm going to add some pink. So I have green, and now I'm going to put some pink down. And the reason being is there's pink, a touch of pink, and there's flowers. And then I didn't say this before, but when I put that paper down on the album, I wanted those flowers to be on the right side, wrapping along the right side of the binder, if you know what I mean. So it's all going to come together really nicely once it's done. Alright, so I'm going to lay those down, and now I'm going to add some blue. I love this circle design, so I'm going to put this down here, and there's no right or wrong way of doing this. I'm literally just trying to overlap the colors, so I have the green, pink, and blue in a cluster. And then I'm just going to do the same thing at the top there, and just slap this down next to the pink. And just taking my time and using my finger to smooth it over, just to make sure everything is on that album. Because sometimes when you pull up these transfers, the Rub-Ons, and you pull that film strip up, you might lift some of it off that paper. So I just use your fingers to smooth it out a little bit. And so now I'm going to add some more up here. I went a little overboard with the Rub-Ons, But my vision when I started this was to cover the whole album with a bunch of different rub-on patterns and just make it pretty. And so that's what is happening here. And I really like the word phrases, so those are nice. This is really pretty. I love the green chipboard, and I was going to use it in some way, and I started moving them around to see how I could do it, but it just didn't look right to me. So overall, I'm going to keep it pretty flat with no chipboard. And I like the Rub-On sentiment, so I'm going to go ahead, glue down the transparency, the little leaf cluster there. That's really pretty. And then I'm going to put the sentiment right below it. And I'm just being careful to make sure I get all the images transferred there. Because when you lift this sentiment up, you don't want it to break. And it can happen if you don't put enough pressure on there. So I'm just putting pressure as I pull that film strip up to make sure I got everything down. And it looks great. Alright, and then I gave up on the frame. And then I was going to add some more chipboard because I love embellishments. And then I'm thinking, no, I'm just overdoing it. So now I'm looking for little butterflies. The vellum butterflies look really great on this because once you glue it on there, it just blends right into the paper and it looks nice. And then I like the transparency butterflies too with the gold foil. So I'm going to glue that down as well. And I'm looking for some other embellishments I can glue on here. The flowers, I like the gold flower foil, but I'm not going to go with that. And then I was going to add more greenery here, and I decided to go ahead and put that at the top. I really like how that looks, so that it's hanging toward the middle there. And then I am going to let that dry for a little bit. And now I'm just looking for some other thing. I kind of want to add another butterfly, and that's perfect. I usually like to use 2 or 3 butterflies. I feel like that's a good number. And now I'm going to put some more Rub-Ons just to fill it in a little bit more, just to add some more splashes. See right there by the butterfly? I kind of want everything to just look like it, meshes well together. And I just love color. And this is just so pretty, it makes my heart happy. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some gold gems because I feel like that will look really pretty. And I'm just going to get them all lined up on here where I want to put them. And then once I'm happy with the placement, I'm going to glue them down. And I decided I'm going to go ahead and put 3 of them in the center of that gold foiled butterfly. It's going to look really pretty. And you'll get to see these up close once I'm finished. And then I'm going to glue these down, being careful not to lose my place where they are. Alright, and that's easy enough. And I'm going to glue this one down. And I feel like I'm going to add some others, just random, in the little circles here. I fought with these because I couldn't get them down flat. They keep flipping upside down, and I keep fighting with them. But once you get over the fighting of those flipping in the right direction, it comes along pretty easy. I'm going to add some on the leaves, just to add a little bit of gold here and there. It doesn't matter really where you put them. Just fun. Alright, and then I think I'm just going to add some to the flowers. Not a whole lot, just something in the center to kind of add to everything else that I've done. It's just fun. You can't have too much sparkly goodies on any projects. I just love them. Pretty, pretty. I love pretty things, and this is so pretty, I just can't stand it. And look at this. I just love it so much. And I hope that you found this inspiring. The Rub-Ons make a nice mixed media background without the mess. And if you love this as much as I do, please give me a thumbs up. And thanks so much for watching. Take care.